So basically, just to give you a little bit of background with my situation, is again, as I said, I work at the tourism centre, so I was am very fortunate, is that people come and tell me these stories, and then I would relate them at work. Until about 2 years ago, some people said to me, you know, why don't you write these stories down? Why don't you do a book? And I went, never thought about it, but sure, why not? So, and now with the technology these days, you can self-publish. You don't have to submit, you know, reams of manuscripts to different, and get turned down 1,000 times, and then your self-esteem plummets to the ground. So I did some research, and I found a really good company that's based in Victoria. I wanted to keep it as Canadian. And they've been extremely helpful. So what I did is I produced the first book, published it, called it Footsteps and Whispers. Now again, this is a really good collaboration. I mean, I pulled the thing together, I wrote it, I did the editing, I got it published, I'm doing the marketing of it. But there's some incredible people that have helped me to pull this together. It's a project that I couldn't have done entirely on my own. So for example, that cover is a painting by my sister-in-law, and I call it the Ghost Walker of Grand Cache Lake. And there's a story around that painting, which is actually in the second book. And then there's some marvelous photographers in Grand Cache. So two of them actually said that they believed in my project so much, they said, yes, we will allow you to use some of our photographs. So that was fabulous. And then the real kudos was Robert Guest. How many of you know Robert Guest? Yes, do you know Robert Guest? Have you heard of Robert Guest? No? He's a wonderful man who's in his 70s now. He was born in Beaver Lodge, and he is an artist. He's lived for about 23 years in Grand Cache, and he moved 2 years ago with his wife down to Nanaimo, and for health reasons. But he is a great storyteller, and he had some marvelous stories. So when he heard I was doing this, he said, well, I have some stories. Would you like some of my stories or poems for your book? I said, yes, please. So some of his work is in here. Then once that was done, it kind of took off. It's into its third printing now, and then people were saying, where are more of your stories? We want more. And I went, okay, I wasn't planning on doing another one, but it was just a one-off, but people kept coming and bringing stories to me, so I thought, okay, let's go for it. So this one was published in May this year. This one's slightly different. This is strange stories and area encounters around Grand Cache, basically. This one is a little further afield. It involves Beaver Lodge, Dunvegan, Entrance, and Hinton. And again, Bob said to me, Robert Guest, what are you going to put on the cover? I said, I don't know, I haven't got that far yet. He said, well, I have a really good painting that I did based on my experiences with the Grey Lady of Dunvegan, up in Dunvegan. Would you like it for your cover? I went, yes, please. So this is his painting based on his experiences with the Grey Lady of Dunvegan. Have you heard of the Grey Lady of Dunvegan? Okay, she's a ghost that haunts around Dunvegan. And he wasn't on his own. It was on 3 separate occasions, and he was with other people, and they saw her too. So they either were all drunk, or they were hallucinating, or who knows, or it happened. And this painting is actually on the permanent exhibition of the Fairview Art Gallery. So his story in here about the Grey Lady is there too. This is what Bob looks like. It's a really nice picture of Bob. And so this one got done. And for 2 wonderful ladies here, when I did research for Hinton and Entrance, especially Entrance, I tapped into the Historical Society in Hinton, and they were most helpful in providing me with guidance and proofreading and much adjusting, you know, because I didn't get the story maybe quite right, and I did want it to be historically accurate. So this book actually deals with some historical content. There's actually chronology in the back, as well as there's a lot more animal stories in this one, and there's a lot of Sasquatch stories in this one, because as I started to do this, people were coming to me with more and more Sasquatch stories. I was like, okay, well, I guess that could be considered an animal, so let's go for it, right? It fits in with the theme of strange stories and unusual encounters. So what I did too is I'll do you a few readings from the book, especially pertaining around for this area, and then what I'll do is we'll go through a PowerPoint presentation of the pictures that are in the books, and so that'll help to illustrate, what these books are about. So this first one here is a rainbow. We get some beautiful rainbows in Grand Cache and just phenomenal weather. Very unusual patterns and cloud formations, etc. And as I was saying earlier, is that the Tibetans have a legend that when someone dies, a rainbow appears, which I love. I mean, whether it's factual or not, doesn't matter. We're here telling stories, right? So to me, that invokes the imagination.